Hello everyone. Here's topics 9 through 11. This is differentiation and integration with bases other than E. I'm skipping to topic 10 first, just to be more fluent with the topics. And we look at logarithmic differentiation. We have studied this before in the context of, for example, a problem of y equaling x squared, maybe x cubed minus 1 to the 5th over 3x minus 7 to the 4th. I'm not going to solve this problem, but the point is that if you did not have the concept of logarithms, you would have to use calculus 1 rules, and it would be quite cumbersome because you deduce the quotient rule primarily, but then to differentiate the numerator you'd have to have the product rule, and within that the general power rule to differentiate the second factor of the numerator, and then the general power rule to differentiate the denominator. So you might recall that what we did was we introduced logarithms. So we took the natural log of both sides. I'll just put dot 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 because I'm not going to finish this. And then we were able to simplify the right-hand side by using algebraic log properties. So the point is that we could have done this using calculus 1, but using logarithms made it much easier. Here's a situation where we don't have a choice. Whenever we have a variable raised to a variable power, even something as simple as x raised to the x power, there is no formula for that. It's not x to the n. X to the n only works when n is a real number, not a variable. So you have no choice. You have to use logarithmic differentiation. So here's an example where we have that case. Variable quantity, variable power. And so we're going to start by taking the natural log of both sides. Now, I'm just going to move off to the right here. So the natural log of y is the natural log of the quantity x cubed minus 1 raised to the 5x minus 7 power. Now, the purpose of introducing the natural log is because we can't deal with a variable power. So by introducing the natural log, we're able to use the algebraic log property to swing this power out in front of the natural log. And there are no parentheses. It's understood that 5x minus 7 is a superscript, is the exponent on this base of x cubed minus 1. But if you want to throw some parentheses in there, at that point, that's fine. Because when you bring down that exponent, okay, on the left we still have the natural log of y. When we bring down that exponent, parentheses are necessary. Okay, now we can actually start the differentiation process. So this really is implicit differentiation on the left-hand side because it's a function of y. And we're trying to find the derivative of y with respect to x. So I'm going to throw that ddx notation in front of each side. Remember, this is just a prompt. The differential operator, we call it, to indicate that we're about to differentiate implicitly with respect to x. And we've talked about this before. When you take the derivative of the natural log of y with respect to x, think of the formula for the natural log of u, where the log goes away and you get a fraction, and we put y on the denominator, and its derivative, dy dx, in the numerator. So there's two very important points about this problem. After you get it set up by swinging the exponent out in front, that differentiation of the natural log of y is extremely important. And also to recognize that on the left-hand side, we have to use the product rule because the natural log of this quantity is a function of x 5x minus 7 is a function of x. Obviously, they're being multiplied together, and so treat them as u and v respectively, and we'll need the product rule. So by the product rule, first factor, 5x minus 7, derivative of the second, to differentiate the natural log of this quantity, our formula for the natural log of u, log goes away, fraction, quantity, x cubed minus 1 in the denominator, its derivative 3x squared in the numerator, big plus to finish off the product rule, second factor, the natural log of that quantity, x cubed minus 1, and then times the derivative of the first, and the derivative of 5x minus 7, just simply 5. And then there's two things left to do. I'm going to rewrite this as dy dx over y equaling, maybe you'll make this a fraction, a single fraction, by writing 3x squared out in front of the 5x minus 7 all over the x cubed minus 1, and then plus, we'll bring the 5 out in front of the natural log of that quantity. But then at that point, one final step is to solve for dy dx. And we need to multiply both sides by y. If you want to show it explicitly, you can. I'm just going to put big brackets on this side, indicate my y on to the right of that. And it's okay to put the y on the right because it is a factor, and multiplication is commutative. So you don't have to put it in front. You could if you like. And then we get that dy dx is, okay, just to recopy what's in brackets here. And make sure that you indicate that the entire thing is being multiplied by y. And for me, you could stop right there, but in a textbook, more than likely, they're going to take one extra step. Hopefully they won't do the tedious, oh, I forgot an x up here, my 5x minus 7. So I'm just recopying what's in the brackets, and then many textbooks will replace y by what it was originally defined to be in terms of x. And that's just so you have the entire derivative explicitly as a function of x. Okay, so then one other example. And these are two different situations basically that you can encounter. We're going to start the same way, noticing that we have a variable quantity and a variable power. So we'll just introduce the natural log y, natural log of this quantity, 1 minus x squared raised to the 1 over the 2x plus 1 power. And then, once again, to get rid of the exponent, we'll use our log property, our algebraic log property that is. Bring the exponent out in front. So 1 over 2x plus 1 times the natural log of that quantity, 1 minus x squared. And I think what I'm going to do here is express the right-hand side as a quotient. So I'm going to have natural log of 1 minus x squared over the quantity 2x plus 1. And once again, it is implicit differentiation. So I'm going to throw this ddx symbol in front of each side. This is optional, but it helps to reinforce the fact that at least the left-hand side is implicit. There really is no implicitness on the right-hand side, because it's all in terms of the x variable. So the only implicitness is on the left, but it's extremely important to note that, because when we differentiate the natural log of y, once again we get a fraction. Log goes away, we put y in the denominator, and its derivative dy dx in the numerator. But then on the right hand side, we're going to need the quotient rule. So u over v, and we have as a fraction, denominator 2x plus 1, derivative of the numerator, that's our formula for the natural log of u, fraction, quantity 1 minus x squared in the denominator, its derivative minus 2x in the numerator. So there's denominator, derivative of numerator, now minus numerator, natural log of the quantity 1 minus x squared times the derivative of the denominator, and the derivative of 2x plus 1 is just simply 2. And that's all over that denominator, 2x plus 1 as a quantity squared. Alright, now I'm just going to take a step here and leave the left as it is, dy dx over y, and a step to kind of clean up the right hand side a little bit. And I'll express the numerator as negative 2x plus 1 over the 1 minus x squared, and then I'll bring this 2 out in front of the natural log of 1 minus x squared, and then that's all over 2x plus 1 as a quantity squared. Alright, but then at that point, notice that we have a situation on the right where there is a fraction here within the overall fraction. And that's a complex fraction. And recall, we don't like that. So the most efficient way I feel to simplify the complex fraction is to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the least common denominator between all terms. And the only denominator that really comes into play is this 1 minus x squared. So we're going to multiply numerator and denominator by that. And when we do, okay, let me still rewrite this left side as dy dx over y. Okay, this is going to eliminate the fractions. In the denominator, that 1 minus x squared just simply joins the 2x plus 1 that's being squared. But when we distribute the 1 minus x squared to the terms in the numerator, when we multiply it by the first term, we get a cancellation. That's why we did it. The 1 minus x squareds cancel, and we just get the numerator minus 2x times the quantity 2x plus 1. And then when we multiply it by the second term, distributing, that is, we just have to figure out a place we want to put it as a factor, and I would probably put it right after the negative 2. Okay, and now finally we could solve for dy dx by multiplying both sides by y. And so dy dx is equal to, there's a lot of recopying here, so just recopy what's in the numerator. And make sure to indicate, oops, I forgot to write it in here. I multiplied that side by y. I should indicate I'm multiplying this side by y as well. And in the final answer, make sure, of course, you indicate that it's being multiplied by y. And it's your choice. You can put back what y was in terms of x, but I would be satisfied at that stage. Okay, so that's actually the end of topic 10, and so we'll come back and do topics 9 and 11, and that'll wrap up the material for exam 1. So we'll see you when you're ready.